Have you ever wondered about the bizarre truths behind medieval birthmarks and sleepwalking?
In the Middle Ages, an ordinary day of farming could take a dark turn instantly.
In the Middle Ages, an ordinary day of
A simple chore like harvesting crops could accidentally uncover something forbidden.
A simple chore like harvesting crops could
In the Middle Ages, a simple birthmark could instantly turn you into a target.
Neighbors would scream in absolute horror, instantly accusing you of witchcraft.
Crazy, right? But birthmarks weren't the only normal thing that terrified them.
People believed the devil himself would physically fly down to claim his followers.
A single touch on the shoulder was enough to recruit you to Team Evil.
Any blemish, freckle, or hidden spot could be interpreted as the devil's signature. Witch hunters would use long, sharp needles to prick these suspicious birthmarks.
If the spot did not bleed or feel pain, it was deemed the devil's mark.
However, many tools were rigged with fake retractable needles to guarantee a guilty verdict.
Even if the victims cried out in pain, the hunters claimed they were simply faking it.
Another terrifying phenomenon to medieval minds was sleepwalking. People would wander aimlessly in their sleep, completely unaware of their actions.
To the highly superstitious townsfolk, this nocturnal wandering was deeply unsettling. They believed the body was temporarily abandoned by the soul, leaving it open to demons. Waking up safely in the morning, the sleeper would have no memory of their strange journey. To the medieval mind, an innocent sleepwalker's random murmuring sounded exactly like a dark, forbidden incantation.
Fearing a demonic curse, the terrified townspeople quickly gathered to put a stop to the perceived witchcraft.
Every local misfortune, from a sick horse to a failed harvest, was suddenly blamed on these nighttime strolls. In the dark of night, an entire community could turn against a single sleeping neighbor.
But the truth behind this terrifying devil spell was actually much more innocent.
They were simply dreaming peacefully, safely tucked away in their own beds. Superstitions drove medieval communities to hunt down anyone acting slightly unusual.
Even a simple, cheerful whistle from a young woman could arouse grave suspicion.
Why? Because people believed whistling was a signal to summon dark forces.
Back then, people genuinely believed that a girl whistling could summon a destructive storm. Even sharing a simple beverage could lead to wild accusations of witchcraft. It shows just how easily fear and paranoia could twist any normal daily event.
If a neighbor's milk spoiled, a simple whistle outside their window made you the prime suspect.
It wasn't just your neighbors who were listening. They believed nature itself reacted to it. They truly believed that whistling near trees could anger the spirits of the forest.
Any unusual event in nature was instantly blamed on a gathering of local witches.
Whistling at night was said to disturb the dead, or worse, invite them to follow you home.
But to whistle inside a house of God was considered an outright invitation to the devil. Whistling in public during those dark times was seen as inviting absolute chaos.
To the villagers, a simple tune was a sign of a dark pact. An innocent habit could suddenly make an entire village become fearful and suspicious.
Every strange habit was meticulously recorded as proof of dark forces.
It sounds ridiculous now, but back then, it was deadly serious business. Let us take a look at how easily they mistook medical conditions for witchcraft.
In medieval courts, ordinary traits were quickly twisted into signs of dark witchcraft.
They truly believed that simple physical features were proof of an evil alliance. Shouting down any defense, they claimed to hear the devil himself speaking through her.
Every accusation was meticulously documented as absolute fact by the local magistrates. Fortunately, when we look at these behaviors in modern times, the explanation is completely different. In medieval times, a simple yawn was thought to invite terrifying, uninvited guests straight inside you.
People genuinely believed that an uncovered mouth became an open highway for tiny devils.
So, how did they stop this terrifying demonic invasion? Simple.
They believed a yawn allowed your soul to escape, leaving you completely defenseless.
When deadly plagues swept through Europe, communities were utterly devastated overnight. To fight this terror, people looked for signs to identify who was next.
But did you know that simple sleep could invite dark forces into a medieval home?
They believed that during sleep, malicious entities could infiltrate the household undetected.
This fear was amplified drastically when someone began to walk in their sleep. In the Middle Ages, even a simple yawn was considered dangerous.
People covered their mouths to prevent evil spirits from entering.
Because they believed demons were always waiting for an open invitation.
To prevent roaming demons from entering, a simple yawn required immediate action.
I told you not to touch that. It is very dangerous. But I wanted to see what would happen if I hit it. Well, don't do it again.
But yawning wasn't the only ordinary act tied to terrifying medieval myths.
Some believed an uncovered yawn invited literal demons to ride inside your body. In these same superstitious homes, ordinary household pets were watched with intense paranoia. In the Middle Ages, walking with multiple cats was enough to spark heavy suspicion.
Father! She commands the creatures of darkness! She is a witch!
Hearsay quickly turned into fear, and fear turned into a dangerous mob.
In reality, these felines were keeping the village safe from actual disease-carrying rodents.
Yet their efficiency as exterminators was twisted into proof of dark magic.
Fear and lack of science made people see monsters in the most innocent things.
An innocent daydream about a cat could easily be twisted into a sinister satanic pact.
But it wasn't just thoughts. Simple physical reflexes were also treated with immense suspicion.
Take a simple sneeze. To medieval minds, It was an opening for evil spirits.
People truly believed that an everyday pet could act as a direct portal for malevolent entities.
Welcome to the ultimate breakdown of how simple accidents turned into historical accusations.
A single ill-timed sneeze was all it took for the entire street to panic.
Superstitions dictated that any unusual sign was linked directly to dark forces. Even ordinary farm objects could be tied into these grand accusations. And that is the bizarre truth behind medieval fears and superstitions.
In medieval communities, completely harmless everyday connections were quickly judged as black magic. Brewing beer was a daily necessity, yet even the dynamic of fermentation sparked supernatural folklore.
Thank you for watching, and remember to look past the myths next time you spot a birthmark.
Let us take a closer look at how daily life fueled these dark accusations.
Brewing ale was a daily necessity, but it often attracted intense suspicion from neighbors.
A single strange look from a passerby could turn a simple task into a crime.
I am only brewing the daily batch for the village council.
Often, these accusations didn't stem from fear, but from petty neighborly envy.
A successful harvest or a better batch of ale was enough to spark rumors of witchcraft.